Hello everybody and welcome back to UKG 2024. I'm here at NeuroCraft Studios with Peter, Felipe, to talk about Codeblade, because if I don't, one of our community members is going to hunt me down. So, it's true, I've been warned. So, who wants to start off? Who are NeuroCraft Studios?
So NeuroCraft Studios is just us two. We are doing this out of love and passion and spare time. We've been doing it for just over a year, and this is our first game, and we were absolutely thrilled that it got nominated for the award for Best Minis Rules. So we're absolutely delighted. We love Cyberpunk, we love skirmish games, and we decided to build one. Took a lot of feedback from friends and game club members about what they wanted to see, which is basically condense it, make it lighter, quicker to play. So we've got 2-player, 45 minutes. You still got the strategic depth and stuff, which is what everybody wants from the game, to give your brain a workout. But you don't have to learn a tome of rules that thick, encompassing everybody's factions. Yeah.
Okay. So I've been told one of the interesting and unique features is the deployment and then the sort of initiative setup. So how does a regular game of Codeblade play out then?
Right, so you end up with a mini game to start out setting up the game. What you have is a completely free and open board for you when you come in to deploy, and we'll take alternating deployment. So when you come in and you put in your first miniature, you have the free range, you have some distance away from the main objectives, but you position anywhere. And once you position your character, you create the zone of exclusion where your opponent cannot be within 8 inches of you, and you start actually taking over and taking control of the board during setup. But once we get to turn 1, our armies are essentially intertwined, flanking, behind, and all of your characters are kind of in range of everybody else. So everybody's threatening everybody else, everybody's threatening you, and you have very meaningful choices from the first roll, right? So that already causes a problem. Initiative is very traditional in the sense that we'll roll d6s and see who goes first, but then we'll add those scores. And the value from that initiative sum is going to determine what's the objective for that turn. Okay. So every turn you're going to have a dynamically generated task. So if you overcommit to, say, your classic control objective 1, that might be meaningless for the rest of the game. So if you've overcommitted and you're all on one side, you might be completely out of position. And for a game that lasts 45 minutes, that's about 3 turns. Being out of position for 1 turn means you've lost a game.
Yeah.
So you have to be really careful to do just enough to secure your win for the turn, which is really important, the turn-to-turn win. Otherwise, you will lose your whole game.
Yeah. That's fascinating, because it requires you then to think about not just this turn, but potentially where you may have to go in upcoming turns. And do people know that you've got 3 or 4 objectives out and you may be moving between them? Or is it a case of when you generate the objective for the following turn, it could be completely sort of out of scope?
Yeah, so everybody will know the list of things that it could be. So when we have a scenario, as it were, we call them routes. The route objective is going to have the list where I could have objective 1 in play, I could have objective 2. You could have insane things like jump. Jump says take a character to the highest point of the board and jump from the building.
Right.
And survive. The character that survives with the highest fall wins the objective for the turn. So then you have to decide, do I send my big beefy guy to go and jump to his death? Or do I send a low-cost piece? Or do I not play the objective this turn and trying to shoot and outplay and outmaneuver and so on? So you could be absolutely insane. There's one where the objectives, which might be stacks of servers or access points, deploy countermeasures and start shooting everybody within 6 inches. So if you were actually overwhelmingly controlling that objective, next turn you could be shot to pieces. So again, you have awareness, you can plan, but you're planning on a distribution, you're planning on a number of things that could happen. So depending on your current board position and your win condition, we have 3 win conditions in the game, you might want to think, where am I going to position for advancing the objective, advancing my win condition, or denying my opponent their win condition that they seem to be going for at the moment.
Yeah. Which leads to a really interesting dynamic game, which I absolutely love. Is this representative of a sort of standard board size then? Because obviously when people come to demo, they sometimes bring smaller games, but height and distance are sort of required for this.
Absolutely, this is exactly what you would play on. The game is only played on a 2-foot square. And this is feedback we got. Everyone wants to be able to play something on a coffee table or on the kitchen counter, not having to clear the dining table or on the floor if you haven't got the space. So we restricted everything to the 2-foot square, and with that deployment, that's why it works together so well to give you straight away the action that everybody wants, not having to sort of dance around in turn one and waste a turn. In terms of terrain and height, this is what you want to see in here. Variation in levels, lots of walkways. You want that dark cyberpunk feel. This isn't cutesy anime stuff. This is real, it's gritty. This is why our game has no wounds characteristics. If you're hit and you fail a save, you're down. It's about the sort of real fringes of society, how dark it could be for their existence in this AI-dominated, controlled world.
So on the note then of the world, are there multiple factions? Is it just a range of soldier types that you just build gangs with? Are there races in there? What can people expect from Codeblade?
You can expect quite a different approach to lots of skirmish games. What you normally expect in a game, the shooting, the stabbing, that's only one sphere in Codeblade. It's one domain, which we call kinetic. There are two other domains, hacking and stealth, and these are both completely viable options on their own. You can win a game just using those. You don't have to use all three domains. We have had so many tense, exciting, thrilling games where not a shot is fired, and you still have a fantastic outcome that's really cinematic and keeps everybody on the tips of their toes for the whole time.
It all sounds absolutely fantastic. So much so, I've already picked up the rules, which mean they only have one copy left at the time of filming, and I think there's a gentleman behind Justin who's going to have that. So, bearing in mind they can't buy the rules off you here now, where can they buy the rules?
Well, we are widely available online from all good bookstores, so you can get them from Amazon, Waterstones, Blackwell's, and if you're watching it abroad, Barnes & Noble's, Walmart. Just have a look down in Australia, I think Booktopia, places like that. There's loads. Please just have a search and see. We are available globally.
Fantastic. And if people want to keep a track on what you're doing, where should they look there, website-wise?
Yep, so the website is Codeblade Game. We'll be on Facebook as well. There's a group there, and we're just opening the Discord from what had been the playtesters as we work from this towards future expansion as well to the wider audience, since people want to go and play and interact. So we'll be there answering questions and hanging out.
Okay. Well, there you go, folks. If you can make it to the Expo, they are at Hall 1, booth 184. Otherwise, check them out online, and we'll be back soon with more from the Expo.